Friday morning, it's going to be an interesting day today. Like I've said before, in the the description box down below, there's a link for my PayPal, so that if you want to contribute to the channel and help out, you can. We're on our way to drop this little girl off. And this little girl is going to be hanging out with me for about half a day because I got to go back to work for about 8 hours this afternoon. But we're going to try to get a few things done this morning before I have to leave at about noon. So stay tuned and let's get some mini trick shit done. Yeah! Look at that. Man, that's a pretty picture to come home to. I'm telling you what. Can't wait to get that rear end on the ground. Alright, first things first. We gotta get this off the ground. I want to make sure this is okay one more time. Because it would really make me mad if I mess this up right now. There we go. Yep. I gotta pop the hood too. We get that airline on there. Oh, there. That was tricky. Running out of space for the jack to go down. There we go. Alright, the front cross member is on the ground. That's as low as that's going to get to the ground. That's what I've had on my mind. I wanted to look at this to see where, make sure nothing on the bags are rubbing. Yeah, right there we could actually ride right there like that. There is as high as it'll get. Right there is about ride height. Well, it's already lifted up, so now we just got to get it turned around. Stay tuned. Freaking cold. See if we have enough juice to get it started, or if it'll start. Hey y'all, we're gonna go for a cruise. Look at that front end should come over just a little bit more. What do you think? I guess it don't matter because we're working on the rear. She has that dust mask on right now because she's breathing her own air, because if she doesn't, she's coughing really bad. She's got a bad cough. I never gave you guys the update on my friend that was in the hospital. He's back home. He's not 100%, but he's back home and doing okay as far as dad goes. There's other complications, but he's back home as well. And just keep us in your thoughts when it comes to Gina's dad. Well, oh, is the front bumper out too far? Yeah, maybe just a hair. You're right. Yeah, we don't want it all the way in the street. God, I need it. We're gonna order headlights like this weekend. I can't stand that shit no more. Ugh. All right. As I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood, we can lay it the rest of the way down.
Back it up a hair.
Oh yeah. I almost tried to pull that around that way. My brain ain't thinking right.
It's frozen.
There. Out of the street. Guess what? It's Saturday morning. Ready to go outside and work on this truck. Maybe not. Shit. All right, that was 7 o'clock this morning. Now the sun is out. Clouds are gone just about. It's still a flood out here. So we gotta walk around the mud holes. But got the truck up in the front. I think I want to start this day out by washing the truck. All right, here we are with it on the blocks in the front. Remember, we had the 4x4 and a
a 2-inch, 2x6, 2x8 underneath it. So it makes a total of 6 inches off the ground. We're going to measure the frame back here to make sure it's about 6 inches off the ground. All right, well, okay. I failed to remember, let me get my fingers out of the way. I failed to remember that a 2x6 or 2x8 and a 4x4 are not actually 2 and 4. So altogether it's 5 1/4 inches. Some of you are going, yeah, that's right, Lawrence. Now you got it. So 5 1/4 from there. So what I did with the tire on there, with this at that level and then this right here, what I'll do to the hub, I'm out of breath, I've been moving around a bunch. To the hub right here, to the center of the hub, is 12 inches from the ground up. That's to center of the diameter of the wheel. This is exactly 5 1/4 inches off the ground. In order for this, for the wheel, okay, 12 inches, it's still sitting on the ground. In order for it to actually be on the ground, this 12 inches needs to raise up another 5 1/4. So what we'll do is we'll bring this up to where it needs to be at 12 inches off the ground. Then we're going to measure from the top of the axle up 5 1/4 and see how close it gets to where the top of the C-notch is in there. And then that way we'll have a mark as to where the top of the axle needs to get to in order for the truck to be able to lay out. All right. That's 5 1/4. Center of this is at 12. I'll show you right now. Basically at 12 inches. I can get this to freaking at 12 inches right there. Center of the hub. So now this would have to come up another 5 1/4 inches in order for the actual wheel to be on the ground. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here up. How much higher do we need to go to get the wheel to actually lay out? With them standing up here, it takes both of them to get the suspension to squat as hard as it needs to. Now we can take our tape measure and we'll take the tape measure and we'll go from the axle up, and it's actually at 6 inches right at the bottom of the notch. So 5 1/4 means there's only 3/4 of an inch. So technically, when I get ready to do this, if I go ahead and bottom out the axle at the bottom of the notch, then we will be perfect. That means that it'll be set up to lay out beyond what we need. And I already measured this side, it's the same thing. Let's go ahead and start prepping this bed to take off. There's going to be, everywhere there's a bolt like that, you're going to take those bolts off, all those. And there should be 2. Oh, Greg, you forgot to put this bolt in. Anyway, I think there's a bolt in the back. We're going to check them out, get all these bolts removed, and then move on to the next step. You know what, Greg? I really like what you did here. I really do like what you did here. I have to take this off the charger real quick so I can show everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Greg Bennett. Now, you see what Greg did here? He didn't demolish the wheel wells right off the bat. Brake proportioning valve has been moved up, but it's not low enough. I just got to put that bar back in. He's got the bar cut off. So all I need to do is get a new bar to go across there, and I'll be able to put that brake proportioning valve back together. I may end up having to move it one more time. I'm not sure yet. It all really depends on how I'm going to put the bags in there. I think, well, I'm going on bag on bar, so the bar's going to come from back here forward, so that might be far enough forward for me to put the bag right behind it on the bar. Yeah. These welds are melded in real good. I mean, he did use the right amount of heat. He did weld it really good. Yeah, it's a little bit chunky bumpy. But we like some chunky monkey, don't we? Got to measure from the top of the tire up. Basically from, because the center is 12. So it's actually 24 inches in diameter from top to bottom. So we're going to measure 24 inches up. And then another 5 1/4 up from there to see where the top of the tire hits. And whether or not we're going to be able to keep these fenders in. God, I hope we can keep these fenders in and keep this to a minimum where we can just cover this back up and be done with it. I'm going to do my best to try to keep the back of the bed intact. God, I'm really, really happy with the way you cut this out. I was afraid that everything in here was going to be cut out. So, yeah, thank you, Greg, for doing it the way you did it. Because this is the way I wanted to do it with my first one after I cut it all out, but I didn't do right. So I'm glad you did right, and this is done that way. So, all right. There we are. 3 screws. Pull those 3 screws. There's also a ground wire on here somewhere, unless Greg didn't put the ground wire in. If I remember right, it's on that side over there. And then we got to get the tail lights out. The gas filler neck, all you do is you pull those, all 3 of those bolts out, and then you take the cap off and you can push it out the bottom right here. That is left over from the transmission leaking on the ground. That's not gas or nothing. All right, like I said, I also got the wiring harness off. I don't know if you can see it underneath there, but I got the wiring harness off of the bed, removed from the bed. And all the bolts are removed. The lights are removed. The license plate is removed. I've took, of course, the rims are off. And I also removed the rear shackles for the leaf springs, which actually allowed it to sit down a little bit lower for right now. Because the lower you can get this, the better. Because really all we're going to do now is we're just going to teeter-totter it back off. Like I said, the gas filler neck is also removed, so it's not going to hang up as well. If anything hangs up, then we got to look and see what that might be. Bed has left the building. The rest of it just looks naked, like little bones. Is it gonna balance like that, baby? Try. Ta-da! Let's see. Well, it might roll forward, so just kind of keep your hands on it real quick. Let me get a shot of everything. See how I remove the shackles and the bushings. That way it helped it to lay down a little bit more. When we rolled it back, it's actually mounted here, so it rolls back onto here with that bed mount all the way across. That's what it was hung up on, so I was able to lift it up, set down each side easily, and then everything else looks really good. This will be the next thing, is removing this cross member there, getting that off of there so that we can start working on the suspension. Kathleen's got her birthday party. We need to get out of here in about an hour. Whew. All right, Saturday evening. Like I said, we got to go take her, so we put everything away. April, what you doing out here? She said, I'm just chilling, hanging out with everybody. So there. Got everything done. Let's cut out. I have time tomorrow. So I will wake up in the morning and I will come out here and I will start cutting shit off. All right, I'm trying not to get any of the music in the background, but we are here at Urban Air for her birthday. We're just waiting on a few more people to show up. Oh, here come some people. All right, we're gonna be able to get the party started.
She's having too much fun with that. It's really slow. It's slow. That's it. Ooh. Go. Hold yourself up. Go. Ah. Go, Aria. That's how I eat spaghetti. All right, you guys made it. Woo! All right.
All right, go to the spot.
Happy birthday to our daughter, 10 years old. Kathleen!
Were those your shoes back there? I think Gina's getting your shoes. Go back to the table and see if she's got your shoes.
She ain't even using the foot pads. She's just stepping wherever. All right, party's over and they're still throwing balls at each other. We're gonna finish out the night here and then we'll get right back to the mini truck first thing in the morning. All right, they're gonna have some little bit of fun. Sorry, I know I said we'll see you guys in the morning, but this is just too good. They're having way too much fun, and I gotta keep talking because the music's playing, so I gotta kind of try to drown it out. But they're having a good time. There we go. Come on. Oh, there we go. It went all blurry on us, huh? Woo! Yeah! Come on, Kathleen. All right, come on, one more. Ah, she got to get that. She's got to get that down. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, see how quiet it is out here? It's so nice. So somebody breaks one of these out. I've already cut the other side off, so I just wanted to show more of the final cut. Oops. Safety first. Get that back in there. They don't like me at all. There we go. See? You don't need this no more. Now we just got to trim up, cut the rest of these little pieces out so that it looks clean. I mean, just cutting it out like that, yeah, you don't want to look like that. So we're going to go ahead and try to cut the most of this out with what's left of this blade because they don't like me at all. And get the rest of it done. End of the day, Sunday. Oh, what time? Freaking 1:14. I got to get to work.
That's all I got out of me now. That's all I got left in me. Okay, so I got the cross member cut out. I got this all shaved down about where I want it, including this side, all that shaved down. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take some just some Krylon spray paint, and I'm going to cover that up. I'm just going to spray over. I'm not cleaning nothing. I'm just going to spray over it because I'll be back in here having to get in there again. Apparently that bar wasn't cleaned up enough, but I'm just going to leave it right now. No big deal. It's been rusted for a while. But all of my bare spots, I did trim down a little bit of the chunky monkey, and got some of these boogers over here from where it concentrated and heated up and whatnot. But anyway, smooth some of that out. I got the shock tabs off of this side. There's a shock tab that was mounted here and that shock tab that was mounted over there. I got those ones off, and that's all I was able to get done. That takes a lot out of my hands. My hands are not what they used to be 10 years ago, and they cramp up pretty bad. But Kathleen's out here. She's keeping me company, and that's it. So looking forward to the progress. We'll talk about that on the midweek video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We already know about that. And thumbs up for fucking hammering some mini truck shit out. Next things that we're going to do is we're going to get metal for that rear cross member. Start looking at everything else. We will talk to you guys on the next video. Freaks, baby. We do this. You do this. We all do this. Why? Because we fucking love mini trucks. We'll talk to you guys on the next video. Get a good look at that and watch me almost fall on my ass.